Hey there, fellow watchers. It's me, Whitey, and tonight on Born to Watch, we're going back to the greatest decade of all time and what could possibly be the greatest movie of that decade. E.T. was released in 1982, and the world instantly fell in love with an ugly, brown, long-necked alien that wanted to phone home. It's filled with exceptional performances and directed by one of the all-time greats. E.T. is much more than a kid's movie. It's a rite of passage. We are Born to Watch, the movie podcast where we don't take the movie or ourselves too seriously. And it was going to be the original trio back, but it's now a four-ball. We've had some technical issues up in the land, apparently, but G-Man, Mr. Faithful, always here.
Yeah, great to be back into 2025.
Yeah.
Looking forward to another good year. Yeah, two ball best balls.
Yeah,
tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Morg said he's very planned.
He said he'd done the research.
He sent a lot of things through, trying to prove that he'd done something.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything.
I don't think he has much time up on the land.
No, he's very busy.
Very busy.
He's got 6 chickens.
I know.
Yeah.
He's growing. It's a growing, thriving empire.
He's the Gina Reinhardt of the poultry.
He's an Ingham.
He looks like him too. Looks like it too. G-Man, E.T., before we get started, did you watch this with the kids?
I did. We watched it with both of them. I asked them both to watch it. I'd watched it with Josh a few years ago when we first moved up.
Yep.
So he watched half of it. He's been sick this weekend, so he got through half, and then he took off to his room to lie down. But Charlie watched the whole thing and really enjoyed it.
Yep.
And I wouldn't say got emotional, but you could see that he was sad. He didn't cry or anything, but you could see he was sad, in the hospital scene.
It's I'm a crier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're well aware.
Let's just leave that at that until we get to the point. I'm starting to well now thinking about the movie.
I cried during E.T. during that scene, but I was 8 when
you're such a fuckwit.
I did that.
You are such a fuckwit. I found this a very difficult movie to do. I found it a very difficult movie to research. There were a lot of tears shed as a 49-year-old man. It was embarrassing.
But I enjoyed this because E.T., and we'll get to it soon, but it's one of those, I watched it when I went to the cinemas, watched it when I was 8 years old. I think I saw it at Colorado Twin. That's my memory. Definitely cried. It's so heart-wrenching, especially at that age when you're the sort of same age as the kids in the movie. And I don't think I've watched it in its entirety I've only watched it entirety about 3 or 4 times, I reckon.
Okay.
I've watched snippets and I've watched parts of it.
Well, let's get to that with overs and unders.
Yeah.
This is a tough one for me because I've got a bit of a story about E.T.
Yep.
But 82, 43 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
I've set the overs and unders at 15. I think I'm being conservative. G-Man, overs and unders. You told us that you saw it at Colorado Twin at the cinema. Overs and unders 15.
I'd say slightly over 15, but as I said, only 3 or 4 full watches. I mean, I've had parts of it on. It was on only a couple of weeks ago, and I started watching it.
Yeah.
But it was at like 10 o'clock at night, and I turned off, watched the first 20, and then turned it off. But knowing that we were going to have this coming up in a couple of weeks, but yeah, I reckon more than half of it I've watched a few times, but not the entirety. So it was actually really good to go back and watch it again and watch all of it.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't see E.T. at the movies. I saw E.T. for the first time when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
E.T.
E.T., yeah.
My gosh.
It's incredible, I know. And the reason is I had a real grudge against E.T.
I think you've told us this.
I've mentioned it on the podcast before. Because E.T. toppled Star Wars for the number one box office movie in history. And I real crossed to bear for that. I didn't see it at the movies. And then by the time then it had become bigger than Star Wars. And I was like, well, stuff you, E.T. I'm a Star Wars guy. Yeah. So I actually didn't see E.T. until I started dating Megan. And Megan, I remember the first time I watched it at Megan's house. She had a copy of it and we watched it at Megan's house. was the first time I saw E.T. 17. And you know what? I thought it was good. Didn't think it was awesome, but I thought it was good.
It's different when you're 17, though, to when you watch it when you're 8 or 9 years old.
This movie, E.T. could have really rocketed into my top 10 movies of all time after this watch.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's a fantastic movie.
It is. I'm emotional thinking about it. The effect this movie has on me. But
watching it though, watching it with the kids, and then at the end I was like, it's such a good movie. It's a feel good movie. You feel really good at the end of it. It's a tearjerker. It is sad.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty timeless. Mate, in the fact that you can watch it, and I know it's set in the 80s, but you can just watch it and it hasn't lost anything.
Mate, it is you are so right that it's a slice of time, because for me, there are so many things that happen in that movie that remind me of my childhood.
Yeah.
But it could be set today.
Yeah.
It has the way I know this movie works is the effect it had on my 11-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
This had a profound effect on her. And she's seen it before. This is probably her second or third time watching it. And she was a fucking mess, like a legitimate mess, from the E.T. being found in the sewer. I was a mess before that.
Yeah.
But she was a legitimate mess.
I've forgotten that scene.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
And I know we're getting way ahead of it, but the death scene is incredibly bad.
Yeah.
It is it's so well done. Him saying stay, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. But anyway, look, I'm in excess of 15. I'm probably around the 20 to 25. I think this would have gone on a fair bit in the video shop. I'd say 20 to 25, and that's all since the age of 17, obviously having not seen it. G-Man, why don't you tell us about E.T.?
Okay. Now, I'd totally forgotten about this tagline, but it's like, it just took me back to childhood. He's afraid. He's totally alone. He's 3 million light years from home. Like that, as a kid, that was everywhere. Yeah.
I'm just holding up the novelization, the gear that I have of E.T. It says that on the front cover.
Yeah, it's awesome. Left behind by a group of secret visitors, a harmless extraterrestrial gets stranded on Earth, surrounded by an intimidatingly strange and unknown environment. Alone and fearful, he is fortunate to be discovered by a lonely 10-year-old boy named Elliot, who, after the initial shock, decides to take him in and gives him a name, E.T. Little by little, a bond will form, and as our hospitable blue planet becomes a prison brimming with dangers and government agents, Elliot and his team of rescuers must work fast to find a way to reunite E.T. with his otherworldly family, even if this means Elliot will lose an unexpected but dear friend.
Yeah, that's good.
Not bad.
Like it.
Covers it.
Yeah, like it. Doesn't give too much away.
No.
Because I've got to say, Spielberg plays his hand early with this. He does the opposite of Jaws.
Yeah.
Shows the creature in the first 10 seconds, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, so it doesn't give too much away. I'll tell you what, let's watch the trailer. A nice short one. This one only goes for about 90 seconds, which is pretty amazing. Hold on, here we go.
He's lost. He's alone. And he's 3 million light years from home.
So it's interesting because I went looking deep to find the original trailer from 82 and really struggled to find anything that wasn't just music and nothing, one of the Johnny Ball specials.
Yep.
So this is obviously the 20th anniversary, which I did go and see it in the movies in 2002. But gives a lot away because we already know what E.T. is like, but captures the essence of the film.
Yeah. No, that was good. That covers everything you need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Critical thinking. IMDb rates E.T. 7.9 out of 10. I think that seems quite low.
It seems very low for a movie like E.T.
Yeah, it does. Certified fresh, 99%
Yeah,
on the tomato
that's about
meter.
right. 99. That's got to be the highest we've had.
I think we might have had a couple hundreds.
Really?
Yeah, I think we've had a couple
Yeah.
hundreds. 99% on the tomato meter with a 72% popcorn meter, which is the public. So there's something there.
Yeah.
Like
So 70% popcorn meter, which
70,
means
which is sort of like the public vote. So the tomato meter is critics.
Yep.
And the
Popcorn
popcorn
is
meter
public.
is pretty much public. Yeah.
you see the public don't rate it as highly as the
It's
critics.
Yeah. I'm not
I
sure
wonder how
whether,
that skews.
but I'm not sure whether it's become a bit ageist. Whether
Well,
there's
that's what I was about to
whether
think,
there's
yeah.
a bit because it's
About
a
to
little
say.
bit schmaltzy, right?
But is it people that are watching it these days without the eyes of having grown up with it?
Yeah,
You know, and then don't,
possibly.
you know, because if you watched it, if you were younger now and you watched, you might go, oh, it's a good movie, but it's
Yeah.
not super. But back in its day, it was unbelievable.
It's still unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's still unbelievable. Okay, I got a couple reviews here. We'll start with a bad one from Don McKellar. Now, again, these
Johnny
are from
Mac.
around 2002 for the 20th anniversary. More than the work of any other filmmaker, Spielberg's output seems uniquely designed to induce in me this queasy false memory syndrome.
False memory syndrome.
Yeah. And I think what he's trying to say is that he's trying to take you back to when you were a kid and try to evoke those emotions from when you were a kid. And we see it a lot. I guess we see it with Stranger Things. We see it with these homages to this movie because it's everywhere in pop culture. But yeah, I don't quite. Spielberg comes with the tag of being a little bit schmaltzy as a director.
Yeah, but I guess that's the beauty of this movie, though, is that it is that story. It's a 10-year-old boy, you know, finding an alien and befriending it, and and wanting the best for it. And the government agents coming in to,
or something can be pure. There's still pureness,
that's right.
right?
That's
I think
exactly what it is.
I think that's the beauty of it.
It's funny because Charlie's watching it and he's like, "Oh, this is set so much like Stranger Things." It's like, well, no, mate, it's the other way around.
Exactly right. And the thing is, Belle made that as well, but we'd already spoken about it that without this there being a Stranger Things, right? Right down to it's the minutia of Stranger Things is all based in ET. You know, the friends, the BMXs, the D&D. Like, there's so much of it. Finding and Belle goes, well, ET's 11. Yep. He teaches her to. Will teaches 11 to talk. Yep. Elliot teaches ET to talk.
Similar.
It's very similar.
They live out on the edge of forests. You know, they're all out in the bushes on their bikes. And there's government agents around. Like
the Men in Black.
Similar.
It's very similar. So a good review. Keith Phipps of the AV Club. Unchecked goodness has its price after all, and childhood wonder wouldn't be nearly as sweet if it didn't fade. That may explain the film's appeal. It trapped that feeling and its sense of possibility in amber, then, now, and for any time. I think it's a good one. I think that's exactly it. I think that's exactly it. I think that sometimes we've just got to put the bullshit down and just be willing to go back. That's what this movie does. G-Man, ordinary people, take it away.
Well, smaller cast week, so we'll go through these pretty quickly. We've got Henry Thomas. Now, child actor, this is obviously a breakthrough role. He'd been in a couple of little things, but then was cast into this, won a Young Artist Award and received Golden Globe, BAFTA, and Saturn Award nominations.
Yeah. Should have won an Academy Award.
Think so. Did very well. Won the Young Artist Award for Best New Talent. I think he was nominated for Best New Talent. Not sure who got that, though.
I'm going to go on a limb. And look, on the Born to Watch Instagram and TikTok, we do have the audition tape of Henry Thomas to get the role for Elliot. This is the greatest child performance of all time. This is the greatest child performance of all time.
Yeah, Morgs would weigh in on that too.
Yep, he's already weighed in. He's got some stuff to say at the end.
Right.
But this is I think, comfortably.
He does very well, and it's a tough and challenging role.
Mate, it's emotional roller coaster.
It's emotional. There's fear. There's friendship. Yeah, he does really well.
Mate, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Drew Barrymore's not far behind him.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore, very good.
Fuck me.
Drew Barrymore as this character, and we'll get to it in a minute, but she went through a different lot of movies in her life and different sort of styles. But as she's become a later adult, it's very much like her. It's very sweet, demure, the girl next door.
Yeah.
Typically her.
For sure. She's sort of come full circle now.
Yeah.
She went right off the rails.
But look, Henry Thomas, a lot of TV after that, but not a lot of big movies. He was in Legends of the Fall.
Yep.
He was the youngest brother, Samuel.
Yes.
Really good role. Great movie. Suicide Kings in '97 with Christopher Walken and Dennis Leary. That's when they kidnapped the mafia boss.
Ah, yes.
And they kidnapped Christopher Walken. He was in Gangs of New York, played Johnny Sirocco.
That's right. He's Leo's best mate.
Yep. And more recently, he's been in The Fall of the House of Usher, which is a next Netflix show.
Yeah, he was also in the first one. I think he's in all three of the Netflix horrors. The first one, which is The Haunting of Hill House, which is fucking amazing.
Yes, he is.
Amazing.
Carla Gugino's in that too.
Oh, she's in House of Usher as well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. She's in House of Usher. Yeah. Look, let's circle back quickly to Drew Barrymore. This was obviously her first movie. She was 6 years old.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Do you know she ad-libbed lines in this movie?
That's crazy.
She ad-libbed lines.
Is that story that she got in one day and Steven Spielberg got upset with her because she couldn't remember a line. She kept stuffing it up and he ended up getting cranky.
He yelled at her.
And then she ended up going home, but she had a fever. Like they found out she was really sick.
Yeah.
The poor thing.
So the next day she came in, he gave her a cuddle and sent her home. with a note
from the director. But look, her early movies, E.T. 82, Firestarter as Charlie McGee in 84.
Stephen King.
David Keith.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then obviously she did a lot of TV, a few more movies, but went off the rails there. Well documented.
Well, look,
Damo's
not here today. But if he was and we did a Snorbs report, she's in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Poison Ivy, she was in the middle of her being right off the rails. But she's sort of come full circle as the rom-com girl.
Well, that was it. But it was Poison Ivy, Bad Girls, and I think Doppelganger was the other one.
Yeah.
And then she went into started doing Boys on the Side, Batman Forever, and then Scream.
Yeah. Well, she was the twist.
Yep.
So she was the big name that was murdered early on.
Yep.
But then she sort of pairs up with Adam Sandler.
But that's it. And then you go from in 98, because Scream's 96 to 98, you got The Wedding Singer, Never Been Kissed.
Yep.
Very similar characters. Charlie's Angels, she's a very similar, very nice character.
Yep.
50 First Dates.
Yep.
Music and lyrics. So all that sort of...
A slew of husbands. Like a slew of romances.
She did Donnie Darko, did Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. So she's done some other things. She's a very, very good actress.
Yeah, she's great.
She's awesome.
She's been in the business a long time.
Yeah. But she was and remains the youngest person ever to host Saturday Night Live.
And I'll tell you what.
7 years old.
I'll tell you what. She wasn't far off from racking up with them in the back room either.
She probably wasn't at that age.
Wow.
Never finished high school.
Surprising.
Oh, she was offered to the lead role in Scream, but turned it down. Thought the role of Casey Becker would be a better role for her.
Yeah. Have you watched Santa Clarita Diet?
No, I haven't.
It's really worth watching on Netflix. Timothy Olyphant, they're a husband and wife, and she becomes a zombie. It's really funny.
Right.
It's very good.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
It's very funny. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about... sorry.
Let's talk about the mum. Have you got anything there about Dee Wallace?
Dee Wallace, that's it. I didn't have a name down here. Now, she was early on in her career, was in all the horror movies.
Yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes in 1977. The Howling in 1981.
It's Damo's favourite movie.
Obviously, E2. We can call that a fantasy as opposed to a horror. But then Cujo.
Yep.
In 1983. That movie scared the life out of me when I was a kid.
It's one of the best Stephen King movies.
Yeah.
It's very frightening.
Yeah, she was amazing. That the mum. I just remember the scene where they were stuck in the car.
Oh mate, they're stuck in the car for half the movie.
Yeah,
and the poor kid. I don't know how it's brutal.
Yeah,
it's seriously frightening.
Yeah, he's seriously frightening.
Yeah,
but then she was in Critters in '86, and after that, a lot of TV jobbing.
Yeah,
she's been on heaps of shows.
Yeah, she's good sort,
including she played Ellen Bernard on The Office. The Nard Dog's mum.
Okay, yeah. The Nard Dog.
The Nard Dog. And also she was in Shooter. Favorite of Sloane's.
Yep.
With what's his name?
Ryan Philippe.
Ryan Felipe.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Peter Coyote was in this. He played the role of Keyes. He actually tested for the role of Indiana Jones, and he was slightly clumsy. And during the process, that endeared him to Steven Spielberg, who said, "You're not right for this movie, but I think that you're right for the childlike qualities that I need for Keyes, who's like a grown-up kid in that respect, right? Like,
Well, he's the good guy. He's the good adult.
he's the good guy, and he's like, I want to believe it. You know, like I've been
looking for this forever.
Yeah, that's right.
He was also someone wrote in a little while ago. I'm just trying to remember who it was. Morgs alike.
He is a Morgs alike.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of Harry Dean Stanton about him.
Yeah. He does have a bit of Dean Stanton qualities.
Harry Dan Stanton.
Harry Dan Stanton. Fucking Dan.
But yeah, not a lot of big movies after Outrageous Fortune with Shelley Long and Bette Midler, 85. He was in Patch Adams and Erin Brockovich.
Very he's one of those I guess that guy who you sort of know who he is, but don't really know who he is.
Yeah, that's right. He's always in the background, always in those movies, right?
Yeah.
Look, just others quite quickly. Young Erica Eleniak.
Oh yes,
is the pretty girl.
Another Snorbs report.
Oh, yes, Damo, where are you? See Thomas Howell in an early role.
It's his first role.
Yeah,
first role. And the year after, he go on to Ponyboy with The Outsiders.
That's right,
in '83.
And then he went on the roll. After that, he was
massive. I tell you what, I watched '86, The Hitcher. I watched it about a month ago. Mate,
I love that movie.
With Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh. It is really, really good.
Awesome movie.
It was remade with Sean Bean in the Rutger Hauer role, but the original from '86 is incredible.
Yeah, what was the remake?
It was same. Just Sean Bean was the baddie.
Was that?
It's called The Hitcher.
Oh,
they remade it in about.
What was the one with Steve Zahn? There was the truck.
Oh, that was Oh God, I know what that is like.
It's the two of them in the car and the truck.
Joyride.
Joyride.
It's called Joyride.
Joyride.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Now, also, Deborah Winger had a non-credited role. She was one of the ghouls in the Halloween sequence. She was wearing a monster mask and a lab coat. She also did some of the voiceover work for ET as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So uncredited though.
Off the Officer and a Gentleman. She was hot property.
She was. That's the thing. She'd come off that, so she must have loaned in to do that, like to help out.
Yeah.
The only other one is Elliot's brother,
Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
The true Morgs like.
The true Morgs like. You know what's funny? Is his real name is Robert McNaughton, aka Bobby McNaughts.
Bobby McNaughts.
Bobby McNaughts.
Well done. Old Bobby McNaughts.
Oh, I wish Morgs was here to tell his Bobby McNaught story.
Oh, God. No, that's terrible.
Anyway, we'll move on. I haven't done anything about Steven Spielberg because we've waxed lyrical about him.
One of the greatest directors ever to do it. Some of the biggest movies in the history. He would have to be the director with the biggest box office.
Oh, for sure.
Hands down, I would think, just off the top of my head.
Well, I don't know. These days, some of those movies rack up so much money.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But okay, let's not say. Let's say maybe he is, in terms of directors, the wealthiest of directors.
Yeah. The best. And this is at his prime.
This is him. Well, he's coming off. He's coming off Raiders, and he's on a hot streak, but he's about to really take off.
Yeah, that's right.
And my God, some of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, we love Spielberg.
All right, that's it.
What about Oscars? Any noms?
Oscar buzz? Yeah. Look, I'll go through this. So, this movie grossed domestically 439 million, internationally 357 for a worldwide total of 797.3 million.
Crazy.
Number one box office for the year. Budget of only 10.5 million.
Wow. And
a tenth of that was spent on special effects.
Yeah.
Opening weekend did 11.9 million, so made its money back.
Crazy.
Straight away. Now, here's interesting. 3,000 theatres it opened in. What do you reckon the average run was? Now, we've seen some at 9 and some at 11 weeks.
Oh, this will be long. I have some trivia on this. This was the only movie to have a theatre run of a year.
Yeah.
That was, but I don't think that'd be the average run.
No, average run was 21 weeks.
Incredible. 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months. When you see some of the other big movies we've had 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 11 weeks.
This had a 12-month theatre run,
Yeah.
though. There were theatres still showing
still
this
showing it. Yeah.
1
No
year.
doubt.
Crazy.
No doubt. But look, 82 movies. I mean, this was nominated for every big category and missed out. And Gandhi won a lot of it. Best picture, best director for Richard Attenborough, best actor for Ben Kingsley, best screenplay, best costume design.
Yeah, Richard Attenborough said that he thought that E.T. was going to win.
Yep. He was a bit. Yeah, he thought
He
it
was
the better
actually
movie.
thought it was the better movie.
And he thought it was going to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie's Choice got Meryl Streep, best actress.
Gosh.
An Officer and a Gentleman, Lou Gossett Jr. got best supporting actor, and also best song, Up
Great
Where We
movie.
Belong. And Jessica Lange got Tootsie for the best supporting actor.
Yeah.
E.T. won best original score, best sound effects, best sound, and best visual effects.
John Williams he's had some iconic music. He's written some iconic music and some iconic themes. This is right up there.
Oh, as soon as you hear that song in the middle of the movie,
The finale, the music
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, how it builds to the crescendo is fucking amazing.
you know they rewrote that.
Yeah, I read
So,
something about that.
Because normally they cut the movie to that, but he got him to redo it with the Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah.
And then they cut the movie into that. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. But yeah, it's actually funny because when you listen to it, it's so Star Warsy. Like you can hear the same sort of
For sure.
sounds. You can
For
hear the
sure.
same lilting music.
Yeah.
It's really funny now.
Well, it's
listening
funny
back
you
to it.
mentioned that because in the Halloween bit where they see Yoda's theme actually plays.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. John Williams is the best that's ever done it, and I know Damo would have to agree. Hans Zimmer is amazing, and there's some other great composers, but no one will ever come close to what John Williams has been able to achieve. And this score is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just hearing it just sends tingles, right? Because it's just like I haven't heard that for so long in the movie.
The theme it's so iconic. You just know, like it's just amazing. Well done. Is that it, J-Man?
Yeah, well, look, top boxes, as we said, E.T. was the number one at 796, Tootsie number two, An Officer and Gentleman number three, Gandhi, and 2/3 of a great movie, First Blood, rounding out the top five.
We've done a few 82 movies.
We
We've done
have.
a couple. We've done The Thing.
You know what was number 8 in the list? Just down where it shouldn't have been.
Oh, tell me.
Porky's.
We're
No,
gonna have to do Porky's Gear.
Oh, man.
We're talking about movies that couldn't be made today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, we
Porky's is
have.
top of
There's
the
been
list.
there were some great movies in 82.
It's a great year. It really is. And that'll lead us into 1982, Hit, Sleeper, and Dud. And I've got the hit. And look, I could very easily just go, look, it's obviously The Thing, because it's
Yeah.
probably my favourite movie of that year. But because we've done it and we've already covered it, I'm going to move on from The Thing, and I'm going to go Creepshow.
Okay.
Directed by George A. Romero, written by Stephen King. 5 grisly tales from a kid's comic book about a murdered father rising from the grave, a bizarre meteor, a vengeful husband, a mysterious crate's occupant, and a plague of cockroaches. Now, this Leslie Nielsen's in it, Ted Danson, Hal Holbrook.
Yeah. I loved
This-
Creepshow as a kid.
Mate, it's so good.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I'd have to watch that again.
Mate,
I
The
haven't seen that
Crate-
forever.
The Crate, which is the story with Hal Holbrook, which has got Adrienne Barbeau, who's John Carpenter's wife at the time, where they're in the college and they've got this crate under the stairs and there's a monster in it. And mate, it's fucking full on. It is so good.
Yeah. I haven't watched. I think I've watched it once in the 80s. Is Creepshow the one that's got the slime that's on the top
That's
of the water?
Creepshow 2.
That's Creepshow 2.
and
right.
that's actually pretty good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't compare to the first
No.
one. Yeah. But yeah, Creepshow. Morgs had the sleeper.
Morgs is not here.
Morgs had the sleeper. But I'll tell you what I can probably do. I can probably throw something quite
I got a
quickly
couple. I
together.
got one for you.
Go.
Sleeper.
Yeah.
The Man from Snowy River.
Oh,
Great
G-Man.
Aussie movie. I watched it not long ago.
G-Man.
It stands the test of time.
Yeah, great. It's a
Running
great
down the
movie.
mountain on the horses.
Mate, so good. Another
awesome.
iconic score.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Incredible scenery. I've told my story about Tom Burlinson in the video shop.
Yeah, Tom Burlinson,
Sigrid Thornton.
Thornton, Michael Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas playing double role.
Yep, and Jack
Jack
Thompson.
Thompson,
Jack
yeah.
Thompson's awesome in it.
Clancy the Overflow.
Yeah, got the greatest moustache ever.
Oh, mate, it's a great movie. I'll give you a little sleeper. Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, good movie.
The first really big sword and sorcery sort of
Yeah.
it was a massive run after that. It is a million times better than Conan the Destroyer.
And that was early Arnie too.
Early Arnie,
Yeah.
big.
Just
Jerry Lopez as his little offsider.
Jerry Lopez.
James Earl Jones.
Yep.
Plays the baddie. Great movie.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, G-Man, you got the dud.
I got the dud. I didn't have to go too far on this one. Unfortunately, it stars a favourite of the Born to Watch team, Adrian Zmed.
Oh gosh.
Grease 2.
Oh, it's a perp favourite.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
this is
she
too?
loves it.
Does Damo like it too?
Oh, Damo probably does.
No,
It's Michelle Pfeiffer,
yeah, that's right.
Adrian
knew Perps
Zmed.
liked it. Yeah.
cool writer. There's a couple iconic songs in it, but
Those are
terrible movie.
iconic, yeah.
Terrible movie. Yeah, good choice.
It didn't stand up to, well, it just didn't stand up to the original.
No, well, it's a very, very high bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Grease is all time. Grease is all time. All right, well done. Few movies there to watch. Do not watch Grease 2. Anyone. Sorry, Perps.
Sorry, Perps.
We do love you, but do not watch it. Okay, question time. Got a few here.
Go for it.
Do you think Spielberg gives away the look of E.T. too early? Because it's in the first 10 seconds of the movie. They're out on the forest floor. You sort of get an idea about what they look like, even though you're looking through the branches.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not a horror or so it's not, you're not leading up to like how bad is this creature going to look.
This is a really good point. And I
Yeah.
think that
They're
this is going to
taking
be
that away straight away.
And I think that it's not about the creature.
Yeah.
It's not about him being. It's about the relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think that by him showing him early, all the mystery's gone.
Yeah.
And then we can just focus on what the core of the story is about. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
answer.
well, I think that's right. Like he does take all of that out straight away, and it's it's big eyes, so that gives it the cuteness.
Yeah.
Long neck, it's short.
Yeah. Pete Rosethorn.
Pete Rosethorn, that's right.
Okay. Start of the movie. Kids are in the kitchen playing Dungeons and Dragons. There's a cigarette burning on the table in the middle of the game. Are we just to assume that's the mum's cigarette? Because she's really nowhere to be seen for about a minute, and there's this cigarette burning in the middle of the table.
I've got a theory on the mum. Not a theory, but like
She's not very good.
she's not on point in this movie.
I'll get to that. I'll get to it.
Because I've got a few things there too.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to assume it's the mum's cigarette,
Yeah, I've got to.
but she's leaving it on the table with the 12-year-old, with the 13-year-old kids.
Well, she blew up about them ordering a pizza, so I can't imagine she's letting them smoke.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, the house, is it located next to the Field of Dreams cornfield?
I thought that. I looked at it and went, he should go out there and just make a field.
Because it's and I do mention it later on, maybe in Good, the Bad, the Ugly, but it's an interesting topography.
It's funny because the house is 7121. I can't remember the street, but I looked it up.
Yeah.
And you go in and on Google Maps, and I looked over it, and it's now got a pool out the back, but it's still on the edge. Like there's still got the trails going around the mountain because it backs into the mountains.
Right.
And it's in northwest outside Los Angeles, but northwest.
Probably doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's there.
Probably
It's
Probably got burnt down.
well, shoot, it might have. Yeah, would have been trouble. But
Yeah.
it was right up there. But that was the thing. They had all the corn out the side and the shed. But then when you look over it, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
When they come down the driveway, you go, "There's no corn out the
No,
back." So
it was very weird.
yeah. I instantly thought of Field of Dreams. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh God,
Yeah.
coming out of the corn."
If you had to choose a lolly that would lure you inside a house, what would it be? So he uses Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
If someone had to lure you inside a house, what would it be?
Oh jeez. Two's new.
Single fin.
Single fin. Sorry, single fin. Single fin.
It's got to be a lolly. What would it be?
Peanut M&Ms.
Oh yeah,
Peanut M&Ms.
yeah. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Mine's just any lolly.
Or if it was the 80s, a double choc ice cream. Remember those?
Oh, yes.
They had the chocolate on the outside and then the
Oh,
chocolate
Oh,
core.
The core.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Double
really
chocs
good.
are my favourite.
They were really good.
Oh.
Okay, and then if you found those said lollies on the floor of the forest, would you eat them?
I'm not taking floor candy.
Mate, Peanut Morg's alike. He's right into it.
He didn't
Oh,
care.
Keys, he didn't care. Keys in. Okay. Did you ever wear a headband like C. Thomas Howell does in this movie?
No. That's
It's-
so bad.
it must have been
It's
a
so
thing.
bad it's good.
It must have been a thing.
Yeah.
Olivia
was-
Newton-John wears it in the Physical film clip.
Yeah, but I get that, but she's in like the Damo Jazzercise.
Jazz hands. Okay, so now we're gonna get. I think we're gonna tip on something here. So we're both parents of varying degrees. Are you leaving your 6-year-old home alone for any amount of time if you're just popping to the school to pick up your son who's apparently drunk?
So your 10-year-old's apparently drunk.
Not only that, you found an empty can and she just,
Let's go back further. Her 10-year-old son is sick.
yes,
Chuck's a sickie, but says he's sick.
yeah, Ferris.
So full Ferris. So she just leaves him at home and goes to work for the day,
Yeah.
leaving 10-year-old on his own
Yep.
at home to fend for himself.
Yep.
Which I'm not sure you're going to do. Then when he apparently gets drunk and she goes to school, why doesn't she take Gertie with her?
I don't understand
Like,
why
when
she
you said
would
go,
have.
just wait here for 10 minutes. I'll just go. How do you know you'll be 10 minutes when your kid's apparently drunk?
I don't understand.
And then when she left, she left the garage door open.
Yeah.
Like, Mum,
She's not a good mum.
not on point today.
She's
Mum.
not. She's having a bad day.
She's having a very
She's
bad day.
concerned about Mexico.
She is.
That really affected her
Right.
early on.
Her heart's down there in
Wow.
Mexico.
Okay. At what school are 10-year-olds dissecting frogs? Not only that, they have to murder them
Yeah, I
beforehand.
I remember doing it at school and they brought them out. They were all
They were
cold
dead,
and they
cold,
were dead. And everyone was
freezing.
like, who just puts chloroform on it? Who gives kids chloroform?
Yeah.
In a classroom.
Incredible. Just incredible scenes. It's incredible scenes. Now, Gal, you've already answered this. I said, did you shed a tear while watching this? You've said yes when you were 8. And I said, fuck you. I said, Belle's crying once E.T.'s sick. So once he's white and he's sick and that's when I noticed that she was crying. I started when he started to talk, when he became a bit more human.
But was he really sick or was he just playing with him? Because then he wakes up.
I think he's sick, but I think it's a good.
I have a theory about this.
Go for it.
I have a theory that he's 10 million years old by the book.
By the
right?
book, yes.
He's 3 million light years from home. He's afraid he's totally alone. He's never had beer before. He's had 3 beers. He's like Morgs, 3 beers, doing cartwheels, and he's got a massive hangover. And that's why he feels sick. He wakes up in the gutter.
He looks like Morgs on the front yard of Lincoln Avenue.
He does.
Christmas
presents.
He's one short of yelling out Christmas presents.
But I got a theory he's just had a massive
tell you
hangover. And
what,
he's just like, oh, this earth's not for me.
I got to say, it's a pretty sound. It's hard
It's
to
not
argue.
bad.
It's hard to argue. Okay, yeah. Look, I was welling a lot in this movie. Now, final thing. It's a bit of a discussion point. I'd like to get what you think your feedback is because there's a lot of stuff about it. So obviously, the point of view of the film is crucial to the film. How it is shot at kid level.
Kid level, yeah.
And we never see an adult's face. We actually don't see an adult's face until 1 hour and 21 minutes in. And it's the Morgs alike. And he's the good adult.
Apart from Mum.
Apart from Mum, because she matters.
Yeah.
Right? So now Steven Spielberg says he shot most of the film from a child's eye level to further connect with Elliot and E.T. Now, I think that's true, but the way I've always thought about being is that the adults don't matter to the story. The only adult that matters is Mum. So she gets to see.
Yeah.
You get to see her. No other adult, whether it be the teacher, whether it be the men in black, whether it be anyone else, they don't matter. It is not their story. So, and from a kid's perspective, that's how they think. That above their eye level doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't.
No, that's a good point because you don't think about what those people think.
No.
You're just in your own world.
You're in your own world. And
with
so,
people your own age, yeah.
So I think that keys level, when we look at it and we see that he's called keys because all we see is his keys at his belt level, that they don't matter to the story. The story's not about them.
No.
It's only about the kids.
I think the thing is that the kids are pure, like we said earlier, they're pure at heart, and they just want what's best. And I remember as a kid watching this when all the people came in and they put up all the stuff outside and they go in through all the tubes. And I was like, oh my God, it's like the thing's radioactive. And I was like, I was so scared of that because I was thinking like that's what it would be like if someone found something like this. That's what all the adults would do. Like, and so where the kids are pure and want the right thing, the adults are in there, basically. Well, they're gonna take him and not gonna harvest him, but they're gonna take him and study him.
Yes,
and do all of that kind of thing
for sure.
Understandably, but from a kid's point of view, it's just his friend that he's found, and he wants him to. He doesn't want him to go. He wants him to
stay with him.
Doesn't want him to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think it's such a brilliant piece of filmmaking to
it's done really well.
Film it from that perspective, and it's so noticeable. And obviously, we watch movies differently now that we do this. And I knew going into it about the perspective, but I really dove into it watching it, and I thought, "Fuck, this is clever."
I didn't, but when I read about it, I was like, "Oh." I think back and said that makes so much sense because you're right. It just does. So it puts you back to that point where you go, "I'm that age."
You become that age.
That's what you're trying to get taken into.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Incredible. Steven Spielberg, what a fucking legend. That's it. Born to watch only fans.
Oh, we got some stuff on the wire?
Look, we've had a little bit. We're going to save it because it's about people that aren't on the show. So I'm going to save it. There's a couple comments about Morgs. Now, Morg's got quite a few raps before Christmas. There's been some retort.
He got rapped.
Yeah, got a few raps, and there's been some retorts. And there's also
people retorting
on his raps. Look, I've got a lot of feedback about Damo and my episode of The Last Jedi. Sometime host, long-time fan, lifetime friend, Bones, really not happy with Damo's performance.
Really?
Yeah. Called him out on a few inaccuracies, and also mentioned that if he thinks he won any of those Trivial Pursuit games, he's fucking dreaming.
Everybody knows I won.
Yeah, please stop.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, you played with Morgs. You didn't win.
We won.
Me and Bones won both games.
No.
You guys are all bloody...
Memories are fading, mate.
Get back on the level. So anyway, look, people, good time now. If you are all fans of E.T. or know someone who's a fan of the movie E.T., which wouldn't be hard, send them this episode. Share the podcast. It's the best way to get some organic growth. And leave us a review, please, on Apple. Give us a written review on Apple, or give us a 5-star review on Spotify. It makes a massive difference. Push pause now and do it. It will make a huge difference to more people seeing the podcast. And if you've got something to say, get on borntowatch.com.au, leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show. Whether it's good or bad, we don't care.
Yeah, throw it out there. We're waiting to hear from you.
We are. Well, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's a special edition tonight. Joining us on the couch is a long-time fan, first-time co-host, my wife, Megan. Welcome.
Moggy 202.
Moggy 202.
Moggy 202.
On the couch.
Yeah.
Welcome, Moggy.
Hi, how you going?
Good. I finally get a turn.
Well, you
I've
had
been asking for a while.
You have been pestering, especially about ET.
I have.
It holds a special place in your heart.
Absolutely.
And we watched it together.
Yes.
With Isabel.
Yep.
Why don't first, just so we can, before we get into good, the bad, the ugly, tell us a little bit about your journey with ET.
So ET is probably my earliest memory of seeing a movie. I've probably got two. First would be Star Wars. I remember being at French's Forest Drive-In and saw Star Wars.
Oh, in the old drive-in.
The old drive-in.
Nice.
Yep.
Like it.
And then ET would be my other earliest memory. I reckon I was about 8 when I saw it. It would have been on video. I definitely didn't see it at the movies, but I saw it at a family friend's place, and it became my favourite movie, and still is to this day.
Okay, all right. Well, there we go. So it's a high bar.
Very high
We
bar.
might even let you score it when you leave.
Okay.
You know, you're only here for good, the bad, the ugly, so don't get too comfortable.
I'm not.
All right. So we might start with our guest. We'll start with good. What have you got for good for ET?
I'm going to start off with Gertie, or Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
She was just so darn cute in this movie. 7 years old when she made the movie. And I'd have to say for a 7-year-old, her acting was amazing. Just her banter. She probably had some of the funniest lines. to
She
deliver in the
100%
movie.
did. Yep.
And ad-libbed a couple of them. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's,
yeah.
But she's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just sort of like one example is when, she first met E.T. Obviously she screams, doesn't know what E.T. is. And then just the banter between her and Elliot
In the cupboard.
That
scene in the cupboard is one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just her delivery. So Elliot sort of, he's saying to her, you can't tell anyone. And she's like, well, why not? And he says, grown-ups can't see him, only little kids can. And she's just like, give me a break. And it's just the way she delivers
that's
that.
ad-libbed.
Is
So
that
that
the
was not in
ad-libbed?
so that was ad-lib. Give me a break. Was ad-lib, which is just incredible that someone at her age can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just sets the tone for the star that she becomes,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Like, she was amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
The funny bit was when she's in the car and she's just giving up all the secrets.
Yeah.
When they're racing out, when the kids steal the van.
Yeah.
It was really
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She was so funny. And then, obviously I've sort of just spoken about my love for this movie, but I guess one of my other scenes that I absolutely love was the frog dissection sort of scene. I heard you talking about it earlier. We covered that off, but that scene was I just developed a massive crush on Elliot watching that scene, and with the Erica Eleniak sort of scene where he pushes the kid down and stands on top of him and gives her a pash. I remember being 8 years old and just wishing I was Erica. So I just loved it.
Apparently, because he was 10 years old and she was 12.
Yeah.
And he apparently he was really nervous. They had to do this take like 10 times.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I'm sure he played up to that.
She was so much taller than him.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
know.
could
It's
just
amazing
see-
when you see them side on.
She looks
right?
way older than him.
Yeah, she does.
She looks like she could be 15.
Yeah.
But it was funny watching it with Belle that Belle said that she has a crush on Elliot.
I know.
Like, even before you
Really?
mentioned that he was your first crush.
Yeah, my sloppy seconds.
yeah.
There you go.
Gross. All right.
That's
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, there's so much more. I
Yeah,
could
there
go
is, and
with,
we'll
but
probably
I'll
cover quite a lot more of it.
Yep.
But G-Man, what about you? What do you got for good?
I had for good. We talked about it, the music, just the score, just the music in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
It just takes you back in time. Whenever you hear it, it's synonymous with that movie and that feeling. The black van, the van in black, they call it.
Yep.
Love that van. It's up there with the 18
van. Yep.
Love to have one of those if I could. We talked about it earlier. I call it the hospital scene where they're in the house and they're both hooked up and he's saying stay with me and E.T.'s hungover and on a drip trying to get over that. That scene is the tearjerker scene of the movie, apart from the ending. But
that's one of them. Yeah.
The bike flying across the moon. I've forgotten about that.
Unbelievable
but it's just
shot.
So
Iconic.
It is
iconic.
when it goes, because I always thought, I hadn't watched it for so long. I thought there was only one bike chase scene.
Yep.
Forgot
There's
that
two.
there was the biking scene there, and that's where they go across the blue moon.
Yeah.
And as soon as you saw it, you're just like, oh, that
becomes Spielberg's logo for Amblin.
Amblin, yeah,
Yep.
that's right, Amblin Entertainment. The other one was looking back and seeing some of the video games, like all that old paraphernalia they had in the 80s, because it was obviously early 80s.
Yeah.
But when they pull out the speak and spell,
oh my god,
I was like, I had one of those. I saw so many of those little speak and spell machines.
Yep.
Like it just gives you that
nostalgia
of looking back. Going, oh my god, that was what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a whole thing on Elliot's bedroom. A whole thing.
That's it.
Okay, well then I'll
He
start.
had so many good things in that bedroom.
Mate, well, let me start on his bedroom. So Elliot's bedroom: TIE Fighter, X-Wing, Greedo, Hammerhead, Walrus Man, Snaggletooth, Lando, Boba Fett, Han's DL-44 blaster, which is fucking an iconic toy, which I nearly bought about 3 weeks ago. I had one back in the day, but I obviously gone. An original Coke can, Pez, and the Speak and Spell.
Yeah. Mate,
like just an incredible bedroom.
I think to me that reminds me of my bedroom because we all had the figurines. I know Sloan had them, you had them, I had them, and you had them always out. I had one of those boards that you could the case, and they were all had their spot in the case, and when you turned the case, you could take it out and you turned over and you could put them on their feet. They had a little hole in the feet to stand them on. I had all of those. I had a blaster. I had a big blaster.
Yep.
Like I had a big X-wing.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I had so much
just
stuff.
takes
My
you
mum
back.
gave it all away.
Yeah, mine got given away.
She's a nightmare. Never forgiven.
It's all right. You bought it all back now.
Not all of it. Not all of it.
Still on the journey.
The start. So the start of the movie where you are seeing everything through the trees and the mist and then it cuts to the home where they're all playing Dungeons and Dragons, teasing the mum, like pretending to poke a bum on the milfy mum.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that was hilarious. BMX is a mode of transport.
Yeah.
Like we all had a BMX at some stage. They were unbelievable. I tell you who's good on the BMX is Michael. He's real good on the BMX when he lures them away. Is incredible. The dinner nook where they sit to have dinner.
Yep.
The dinner nook.
A little dinner nook, yeah.
Oh fuck! How good is that? So good. I wouldn't have fit in the nook, but I would have had to sit on the outside. But the nook, so good. It's like a Macca's table. It's amazing.
It's a booth.
Now, I'm sorry, penis breath is one of the best line reads in the history of cinema. And the reaction from Dee Wallace has to be real.
Yeah.
It is so natural and her laughter is so natural that she was either not expecting it or didn't know what he was going to say. And it's so funny when he says penis breath. I lost it.
Just don't expect that.
You don't expect it.
That's what he's going to come out and say.
Yeah, it's so good. I said John Williams deserved 10 Oscars for this score. The kids. Now, and I know Morgs really flogs Aussie child actors. The kids, all of them, all the friends, and the 3 family members, Elliot, Michael, and Gertie, are great. Elliot and Gertie are next level good.
They do make it.
Next level good. The movie doesn't work without them. Elliot deserved an Oscar for this movie. His range is phenomenal for a kid so young.
Yep.
And what he had to do. So good. We've mentioned Gertie in the closet with E.T. I love the hiding amongst the toys. Right? I think that's been used a lot moving forward where, generally in horror movies where you're hiding amongst like other toys and stuff, but I think that's really funny. E.T. wears a flannel. Like super taste, like the world's best clothing taste. He's got his flannel on. Drunk E.T. Yeah. Walking into the wall, falling flat on his face. Like there's some really good moments of slapstick humor. And obviously then Elliot's drunk in the classroom at the same time, which is concerning. Obviously E.T. phone home. Like it's one of the most iconic. The finger. E.T. phone home. It's been used in advertising forever and a day. If you say E.T. phone home, people know. You say phone home, people know what it is. It's just incredible.
I mean, which kid didn't walk around going E.T. and saying it in the voice with their finger up?
Absolutely.
Everybody.
We call Plims E.T. because of the finger, right? Well, I might have mentioned it when Yoda and Halloween when he sees Yoda and starts going home, 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 like going towards Yoda. I thought that was amazing.
That was
and obviously Yoda's in it because George Lucas
his mates.
and they're mates. And they actually have on the flip side on that, I don't know if you knew this, but in the Phantom Menace in the Senate thing, there's ETs in the Senate, which is great. So bit of a payback. You've already mentioned, but the first flight, you don't know what's like seeing it for a first time and seeing them actually take off. Yeah. You're like, holy shit. And then the shot across the moon is just next level good. I've mentioned the faceless adults, how we don't see a face until a minute 21. And then it's Morgs. The death scene, which you said the hospital scene, just like amazing. It's Oscar worthy. And Chekhov's flowers. Yeah. You don't realize the part that they're going to play. Like, they show the dead flowers, then he makes them alive.
Then they die.
Then they come back to, and, it's just the incredible use of a plot device there, like, so that we know what's going on. I could go on for another 50 minutes, but I'm not going to. Bad. G-Man, I'm going to go over to you first.
All right. I've got a couple of things here. If E.T. was so scared, and, he's hiding out in the shed, why'd he throw the ball back?
Yeah.
Because he was hiding from humans.
Intrigued.
So, but someone threw a ball in, like, your natural reaction wouldn't be to throw it back. But maybe it's childlike, so I don't know. Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting, like, the things trying to hide from people.
Yep.
E.T. I would say it's bad, but Is E.T. a tauntaun? He's got the same voice.
He does a
the
bit.
Same
He does a bit.
tauntaun sounds.
He does a bit.
A bit of timing here. Elliot, the morning after E.T. bolts from his house, Elliot gets up next morning, walks out, has a fresh new haircut. Don't even notice that. We were watching. I was like, he's had his haircut.
Wow.
But it's the next morning because his hair in the first scenes is a lot longer. When Elliot goes into the kitchen and turns on the tap, it's instantly steaming. It must be scaldingly hot water. There must have been no water heat restrictions in the 80s in the US state of California.
Yep.
The full spacesuits were a bit much.
Mate, why? Why are they in NASA spacesuits?
I don't know.
And then walking like they're in like anti-gravity.
I know. I was like, that's a bit of a stretch. I was like,
you know what?
Is that all the budget had?
No, but also I think why it is because they got the iridium faceplate, so they don't answer the faces either.
Right, maybe.
But still, these kids are fine. They've taken radioactive readings. It's nothing really bad. Why are they in spacesuits?
Yeah, they come in all in the. I know it's to. You're right to create the horror,
of course.
But then the funny thing was when they hooked them up in the hospital scene, and then everyone's masked up and everything gowned up and as soon as ET starts to die and they take everything off, they just take all the masks off. I was like,
oh well,
in what way would a doctor ever do that?
Oh well, he's dead now.
Well, no, he's dying. He's still alive, and they just ripped they all had their masks off, and the cop when they take when they take off in the van and the two guys are surfing in the tube at the back. Yeah. There's not a strong cop response to that. Like I imagine there's people out in the street. Like, there's going to be cops there holding everyone back. They get in the van, they then drive, then they stop, then they have a chat, then Keys chases them, then they drive off, and then no cop chases them for another 10 minutes. Yeah. Like they go down the road. So I was like, till 5 cops start chasing them, right? I thought that was a slow response. The other one was when the bike takes off the second time. Yeah. The cops barricade it. Yes. And one cop gets out with his gun out.
He's got a shotgun.
But then he just stands with a shotgun and doesn't stand like the 2 cop cars are like that. And he doesn't stand in the middle.
He stands behind the car.
He stands behind the car and waves them like, stop, stop. And then they take off and he goes, oh.
Do you need a shotgun when it's kids on the bike?
Yeah, I know. That's, They're all small things, but they're just little things.
Little things, definitely. Megan.
Bad. I love this movie, so there's not much that's bad. But the only thing we were chatting about, we could pick that it wasn't the kids riding the bikes.
It's definitely not Elliot.
Yeah.
It's definitely
He's
not
so much
Henry
taller
Thomas.
that kid on the bike. I said that too.
He's about 17, the kid that's riding the bike.
Yeah, so it was pretty obvious that it was some stunt doubles.
And I do like they made them all put masks on. Like they all put their masks on, so you couldn't made it hard for them to tell that they were older kids.
Yeah. That's it for bad.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm leaving the pizza in the backyard on the ground. Like they sort of open it up, he takes a slice out, and then they just leave it there and walk inside.
It wasn't that damaged.
He could have eaten the pizza. The pizza.
Yeah.
I said that's still edible. So the second flight, when they take off the effects, it's 1982. You can tell, right?
Oh, of course.
And look, it's a real minor nitpick, but and then actually, we spoke about this when watching, and I've seen you've got in your notes as well, but mine's before yours. So they're in California, but where are they? They've got desert, they've got cornfield, they've got forests, and they've got ocean, all within about 5 minutes of their house. Now, it's quite funny because in some instances, they get to the forest really quickly, but then when they're riding with the kids, it takes them forever to get to there.
Yeah, in the first one when they race there.
Yeah, they've got to fly to get there.
Yeah. And then
so it's like,
So
that's the only other thing is like, where exactly?
Yeah, you get
because they went to the same place.
Yeah.
You get the feeling the forest is practically at the back of the house.
Yeah,
but it's
do,
not.
But it's not.
You see all the shots.
Be,
It's just desert.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, ugly.
Well, I'll touch on ugly.
You go ugly.
Because I just thought the town in general was ugly. Like there was not.
Well, it's very
new housing estate.
It's very
obviously.
poltergeist housing.
Yeah, it's on the edge of the housing estate. It's still. I was saying before I looked it up, it still is the address of that house. It's still like on the edge of the mountains and the hills.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There's 5 tracks around it. Yeah, so it's northwest, outside Los Angeles, northwest.
There's no trees, no trees.
Yeah, nothing.
It was just looked like a really boring.
Yeah.
Barcy Lakes.
Yeah, not a tree in sight. So I had that for ugly. Can I keep going?
Go, yeah.
Okay. Michael's teeth.
Yeah, I've got Michael's teeth.
Oh, really? Got geezer teeth.
Big time. Shark teeth.
Definitely get some Morgue-like award for Michael's teeth.
Oh, Bobby McNaughts.
Yeah, old Bobby McNaughts.
Yeah, they were terrible. He needed a few teeth pulled. And just to cover off, we all know Matt loves a sook.
Oh, God, here we go.
So during some of those final scenes, I looked across and there was some ugly crying going on from Matt.
I'll bet there's some blubbering.
It was so
Well, Isabel was
so
crying.
embarrassing.
Isabel was crying. So I went in out in sympathy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So that's it for my ugly.
Thanks for that. Appreciate having you on.
That's all right.
First and last time. G-Man, ugly.
Look, in my ugly, we've already covered it. It's mum skills. That was what
Yeah.
I had in there. Mog, you're a mum.
Mm.
If you had to go when Luke was 10 and pick him up from school because he was drunk, would you have left Belle at home at 6 years old on her own?
No, I
No.
probably wouldn't.
No.
No.
Definitely not. No, it's not great. Okay, well done, G. I've got Michael's teeth and C. Thomas's headband. There's just no need for the thin plated headband.
No,
No.
there's no need for that.
Did we discuss? Is ET before?
Outsiders, yeah, year
Outsiders?
before.
Year before.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was his first movie role.
Yeah.
C. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Became a superstar.
He's a
For a
good
little
looking.
bit.
He was a good looking kid.
Good looking kid.
Yep.
No doubt. That's good, the bad, the ugly. Now, Megan, before you go, what are you rating this out of 5?
He gets a straight 5.
Gets a
Yeah,
5.
nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Hard 5.
Hard 5.
Okay.
Yep.
You're not used to a hard 5.
No. Not used to anything hard.
Well, it's been a long time.
It has.
Yeah.
It has.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
First and
Thanks,
possibly
Moggy.
last time on the show.
Great to have you on.
Moggy 202 signing out.
Yep.
I'll have some feedback on the website for you
Good idea.
about how
Okay.
Moggy 202 did.
I'm sure you did. I'm
Look
sure you
out.
will. Okay. Thank you,
Alright,
darling.
thank you,
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
Moggy.
Okay, G-Man. Well, after a low point in the podcast, we'll get back on track. Dan's quick fire. Now he's not here tonight, so I'll look after it. I can't remember what the pop culture one is now. We'll just say hello to my little friend. Let's start again. Dan's quick fire, and he's not here, so I'll look after it. So say hello to my little friend. Pop culture. What have you got?
Phone home.
This is easy. Yep.
Finger.
Yep.
The right. We've said the writing across the sky. Like
Yep.
you ain't the
Moonshot.
music.
The moonshot. The music. Elliot and ET.
Yep.
Oh, do you know one thing I didn't mention is I thought that the connection, the ET Elliot connection, was a really good plot device,
Yeah.
so that we could see how he was feeling. I thought that was really clever. We don't, saw the first time we ever saw anything like that.
Yeah.
Really cool. Anyway, 5-minute movie. How could we make this a 5-minute movie?
They don't forget him.
Good one. That was,
If he doesn't rustle up in the bushes and the botanist or whoever was there, yeah, he just gets back on the
Gets on the-
plane. He goes, and
Yep.
that's it.
absolutely. Pig face lick outs. Biggest dick character. Yeah, I don't think there is any.
There's not one of the
One of the
brothers'
kids.
mates.
Yeah.
All the kids are a bit dick, but they're kids.
They're
Like,
kids.
to the younger brother. There's no real dicks.
I don't think there's a dick in the movie.
I mean, even the bad people coming, like the government agents aren't bad.
No.
They don't do anything. And Keys is a good guy.
absolutely. I don't think
Good
there's
old,
any.
good old Keys in.
Castle Hill keys in. Olivia Newton-John, bad athletic prowess.
Well, it's funny because I would say E.T. when he first runs in the backyard and he scoots up the hill and he's gone like a second.
Mm.
But then when he goes to walk on the ship at the end, he like waddles up the thing. He didn't think he's not going to fall over.
He doesn't. It's like we know some people who got short levers.
Yeah.
But he's taken it to the next
Really?
level. Like his squats, he doesn't have to go very far.
No, he's champion squatter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. Alien robot sentries. Do we need any extra scenes in the movie?
I don't think so. I thought about that. What about knowing a bit more about the aliens? But you don't really need to because, you get what you get. They've left him out there and he goes back, and that's the mystery of it all. Like they have the interaction with him, and that's it.
Mm.
And there's nothing else. So I don't think there's no other backstory. They allude to the dad going to Mexico. I think that's enough. The mum's upset by it. It's obviously very recent.
Yep.
And Gertie, my dad's in Mexico.
Yeah.
But that's all you really need to know. She's a single wife, single mum, that's been left on her own to fend with the 3 kids. And, life's tough, and she's trying to bring them up the best she can.
Yeah, I agree. Perfect movie. Brad Pitt, person you most like to lie down with. I think this is a question of 2 parts. But anyway, G-Man, anyone?
I don't think there's anyone really in the movie.
Oh, you give Dee Wallace one.
Oh, Dee Wallace, yeah, of course. The mum,
and then if you're looking at whether it's a long-term lay-by sort of thing, we all know that Erika Leniak turns out to be one of the most beautiful women on the planet, especially in Under Siege. She can pop out of my cake anytime. She'd get the hard 5.
Erika Leniak in 10 years.
Yeah, hard 5 for Erika Leniak.
She'd get the hard 5.
Yeah, definitely. Hard 7 for some of us. Look-alike, morgues alike. So I've said Peter Coyote.
Peter Coyote is Keys.
Yeah. Michael.
E.T.'s feet. Could have been modelled by M. Head.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Even Gertie pulls them out.
Oh, don't like his feet.
Apparently she said that, but she was talking about because there was all wires.
That was another ad lib thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, I don't like his feet.
Yeah. But again, that's like Spielberg just capturing everything and being able to use it. C. Thomas Howell's got a bit of morgues about him as well.
He does.
We said he's a good looking kid, but Morgs wasn't.
When he gets a bit older, C. Thomas Howell's got a bit of morgues about him.
Definitely. And Michael, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like Morgs.
McNaughts. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely his teeth. Now, we've covered a lot of this throughout the episode, but it is listen to this. Now, G-Man, what haven't we spoken about?
Mate, I wrote down about 15 things.
Yeah, so did I.
And I've only got about 3 left.
Okay.
So I'm going to quickly go through them. The BMX bike, I looked it up because it was a cracker.
Was it a mongoose?
I looked up, is it a mongoose? It was a 1981 Kuwahara BMX bike. It was custom built for the movie by Howie Cohen and Robert Cardoza of Everything Bicycles in Torrance, California.
Wow.
There was 25 custom-built bikes made for the movie with each character having their own one. Elliot's was red and white. The others all had their own color schemes and things on it. So they were at that. Yeah, it was a cool bike.
It was a cool bike.
Not sure about the milk crate on the front, but whatever.
Yeah.
The other one I had was we went through Halloween, E.T. Yoda, the end of John Williams and the end of the movie, Eye Level, highest grossing movie of all time until Jurassic Park took it over.
Yep. Interestingly
enough, the Jurassic Park took it over. It was released on the same day, June 11,
Yeah.
11 years later.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Now, what's also funny is that Spielberg had 2 in a row of the greatest box office of all time, was then surpassed by Titanic and Avatar, which was James Cameron that had 2 in a row.
2 in a row, yeah. That's funny, isn't it?
Pretty cool.
Here's a sliding doors for you. The script was being developed at Columbia at the same time, and they had another script about alien visitation, so they didn't want to make both. So the head of the studio chose to go with the other one, which was Starman, and left E.T. to go to Universal Pictures.
Starman's not bad. It's John Carpenter.
Yeah, it's not bad, but
it's no E.T.
It's not up there with the money that would have made for that.
Yeah, for sure.
The Atari video game for this was one of the
worst
critical and commercial failures in video game history.
Have you seen it? Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah,
it is.
I remember
so bad.
It was bad.
Apparently, there were like tens of thousands of copies of it found in
landfill.
In landfill.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just got punted because no one took it.
Like someone actually dug it up, and there was like tens of thousands of copies of the ET game.
Obviously, they just went, "This will be huge, right? We'll just game on the back. It doesn't matter what it is. People will buy it." And then
it mattered what it was.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just one more.
Yeah.
E.T. the movie provided the inspiration for the Neil Diamond hit song "Heartlight." Turn on your heart light.
Really?
Yeah. Now, was never mentioned. The movie was never mentioned in the lyrics, but apparently the songwriters paid the studio just a nominal sum because that's where it had come from.
Wow.
Let it shine wherever you go.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one, G-Man.
Make the world a happy place.
Script was largely written on location while filming Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
So Steven Spielberg would give notes to Melissa Matheson, who was the scriptwriter, who was also Harrison Ford's girlfriend at the time that would become his wife.
Yep.
Now, Harrison Ford also filmed a cameo scene
Yes.
in the movie as one of the teachers.
Yep.
And the only reason he accepted the role is because he knew that he would not be seen. It would only be his lower half. He didn't make the first cut, but maybe in the Laserdisc edition,
Yes,
his
one of the
scenes in it,
editions,
he's added in, which is pretty cool. The film was released on video in the US. The cassette was made from green plastic as a measure to confound video pirates.
I like that, to confound them.
Yep. Now, this movie was released in 1988 on video cassette, so 6 years later. By the end of 1988, it had sold 15 million copies.
Wow.
Yeah. Massive. That's
Just crazy. 15 million back then.
So the Foley artist, John Roche, said he used a wet T-shirt crammed with Jell-O to simulate the noise of E.T.'s waddling walk.
It was a waddler.
He was a waddler. Now, what he could have, if it was filmed today, it's M-Head. Just get him to walk. Sounds like E.T. Right. Oh, my God. Okay, so there's been a big movement on the Christian allegory of the film. Spielberg says any parallels are strictly coincidental.
Yeah.
Right? Furthermore, Spielberg adds that if he ever made a Christian allegory, his mother, a devout Jew, would probably never forgive him. So I think it's fairly certain that this has no religious overtones.
I think people could look into that and make something out of it, but obviously it's not. I mean, it's an alien story. So.
Absolutely. I got one last one.
Yep.
The shoes that Elliot wears in the movie are the same brand of Nike shoe worn by Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future.
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
Which Spielberg was also executive producer for.
Okay.
So there you go. Quotables. G-Man, there's a trillion, and we've said a lot of them.
Yeah, I had two. I had E.T. Phone Home, obviously, and Penis Breath.
Penis breath.
Shut up, Penis Breath.
Oh, my God. All right. I've got a couple. Elliot, he's a man from outer space, and we're taking him to his spaceship. Greg, well, can't he just beam up? This is reality, Greg. And I thought this one is so true. So, Michael, where's the playground? Elliot, it's near the preschool. Michael, where's that? Elliot, I don't know streets. Mum always drives me. Michael, son of a bitch.
I cacked that because I was like, 10 years old. He wouldn't know where to go.
Exactly right.
My kids get in the car, how'd you go home? They go, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't look out the windows when you drive.
This is amazing. It's so true. I've got it was nothing like that. Penis breath. Is he a pig? He sure eats like one.
Gertie.
I don't like his feet. And I loved.
She says, "Here he is. Here's who? The man from the moon."
Yeah,
but I think you killed him already.
Yeah, but this is also it's sort of in the background. It's on Halloween night. Mum, listen, Buster, you won't get 4 blocks in this neighborhood dressed like that. Michael, please, no, that is final. You're not going as a terrorist.
You know,
this is the first time I'd heard it. I was losing it.
It was funny.
Yeah.
The other thing was too that she got all dressed up and took photos of them.
Yeah.
And then didn't go with them.
Stayed home.
So she got. What was she doing?
What about poor Gertie?
Yeah.
Again, she has to ride the bike or take the bike up to the fence to meet them. She's gone.
Yeah, Gertie's off on her own.
Yeah,
They're just see you, Gertie.
Yeah, that's weird.
Safe neighborhood, apparently.
Very safe. Lots of people out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, there was.
Lots of people out trick-or-treating. I did not find a Kurt Russell 1 Degree.
No, I couldn't find one either. Yeah. Gosh, that's no director.
No, there was nothing. Couldn't find anything.
Well, it's not a big cast in this movie.
No, there's not.
Even though it is, the only thing is same year as The Thing.
Yep,
that's about as close as we get.
Yeah, this is it. Now,
oh geez, what do we got here?
Film school for F-wits, and this is off the cuff because Dan, obviously with technical issues, had something planned. I think it was 7 other movies that filmed in whatever it was. I don't know. In order. So we're going to trivia box. What we're going to do, I've just picked 4 cards at random. Now, we're going to ask top and bottom, top and bottom. We'll start with top, and then we'll go bottom, bottom. Right? You like that?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's a little bit of trivia. I know we've done this before, but it's actually now, I bought a little trivia box. Here we go. I'll start with you, G-Man. True or false? The Matrix was shot almost entirely in Sydney, Australia.
True.
Well done. Here you go.
All right, I'll go. True or false? Kevin Spacey played the main character John Dunbar in Dances with Wolves.
No.
Oh God. Apparently we're starting with the easy ones.
Oh my God. Okay. Bruce Wayne. Hang on. Bruce Wayne, Batman's secret identity, has a butler named what?
Oh, what's his name? I can't think of it. It's gone out of my head. His butler. What is it?
Alfred.
Alfred. I knew it. Oh.
Alfred Pennyworth, actually.
True or false? The 2015 film Cinderella was released by Walt Disney Pictures.
2015. Oh, it's true.
True.
Yeah. Okay. True or false? The 2015 film Far from the Maddening Crowd takes place in France.
True.
False.
I don't know.
England.
England. I don't have any more true or false. I've only got.
That's all right. Just do the one underneath.
I've got in the movie Ice Age 2: The Meltdown. What kind of animal is Ellie? Now I can give you multiple choice if you want.
Yeah, give me multiple choice.
A, mammoth. B, squirrel. C, cow.
Mammoth.
It's Ice Age 2: The Meltdown. Kind
Yeah.
of gives it away.
Yeah. Could be the squirrel though, because there's a little squirrel
there's
that's looking
squirrels.
for the nut. Okay. In the Hunger Games, how often do the Hunger Games happen? I'll give you a once a month, twice a year, once a year.
I've never fully watched the Hunger Games.
It's really good. You should watch it.
It's once a year.
Well done. Good guess. Give me
All
the
right.
last one.
Why do they call Johnny the Human Torch in Fantastic Four?
What do they call Johnny?
Why do they call Johnny?
Because he's made of flames.
I'll give you A, he can engulf himself in flames. B, fire shoots out of his mouth. Or C, he melts in extreme heat.
Oh, no, he engulfs himself. Yeah. He's made of flames. Yeah. There we go.
Good work.
Pretty average, but anyway, moving on. That's what happens when we have to do...
when we wing it.
When we wing it. Now, star of the show. G-Man, who you got?
Are we doing star of the show?
Oh, no, we're not. We're not. We're doing kick-ass credit song. G-Man. Looking forward to this one.
Let's see how we go. This I wrote this very quickly this afternoon.
Perfect. Should be good then.
In the theme of poor old E.T.'s hangover.
Okay.
It's called You're Not Dying, You Just Can't Think of Anything Good to Do.
Nice.
All right, here we go. E.T. arrives in the middle of the night, scared and afraid. He stays out of sight. Elliot sees something, thinks it's bizarre, checks it out and ruins his whole pizza. Becoming BFFs, they take him in the house. Gets on the cans, thinks the earth is grouse. 2 or 3 beers, and he's not sober. He's not feeling well, but it's just a hangover. You're not dying, you're just a bit tired. A few more hours sleep, and you will feel wired. You're not dying, but earth feels like hell. Time to fire up the old speak and spell. It's the 80s, no recover and watch Plex. Only thing you got is the BMX. Feds are on your tail. You can't linger. They want to do trials on your glowing finger. You're not dying, but it's time to go. Call your mates and hope they will show. You no longer can. You share your thoughts. Say goodbye to Elliot and Bobby McNaughts.
Oh, G-Man, that was really good.
Yeah, took me a little while.
You got tired in there. You really like it.
Did you like that? Just a little tired.
Really fucking good. Really good. Oh, wow. Star of the show, Jen.
It's so hard to say Henry Thomas, or you could even say Drew Barrymore, or you could say Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Or you could say E.T.
Yep.
But for me, I'm gonna go with E.T. and Elliot, like their symbiotic
connection.
relationship,
Yep.
their connection.
Yep.
I think that's what makes it. I think the way that's acted is really good. One of the things that Steven Spielberg did in the movie that we didn't get to earlier was the kids. There was a 2'10" stuntman that did a lot of the
Yep.
acting for that the character. The kids never saw that actor on his own, and they never saw anyone. They never saw the suit. You know, the ET.
Was it Warwick Davis?
Could have been, but
Life's,
they never.
life's too short.
But they never saw him, and they never saw the suit on its own, not with someone in it. So the suit was always live. If you look at it like that with them,
Yeah.
So the kids over that time build a rapport with the creature, with
Yeah,
ET.
absolutely.
So when they were filming that final scene, when they're leaving, that was the last time they're going to see him, because they filmed the film in chronological order.
Yep.
So when they did that, that was the last time they were going to have that character in their lives. So a lot of it was pure emotion, because they weren't that they built
Drew
an
Barrymore was
attachment.
crying for real.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
for
Like
sure,
they built an attachment to that ET,
Yep.
because they been on set with it for that long, for months. So I'm going to go with that relationship, because that was quite pure, and that's my one.
Okay, I'll read what I've written here. Hard to go past Spielberg here, but Henry Thomas is fucking fantastic, as are all the kid actors. I'm giving it to Henry Thomas.
Yeah.
This watch, he blew me away.
Yeah.
Really
He's
did.
amazing. Yeah.
And look, Spielberg is Spielberg, and he's almost the greatest that's ever done it, and especially making this kind of movie. And you don't have Henry Thomas without Spielberg, because Spielberg chose him, but fuck, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Incredible performance. The Rank Bank. Now, G-Man, this one was a little tough trying to figure out what we could use, but I think I've got a favourite. Prepubescent Pashas. Frog Mass Murder. Reese's Pieces. Drunk 10-year-olds. Speaking Spells. All-time 10-year-olds' bedrooms. Penis breaths.
We can go. Oh, for me, it's speaking spells of penis breaths.
It's going to be penis breaths.
Oh, let's do it. Penis breaths.
Now, we've already got a couple rankings in. So,
Sorry, I'm just looking at the sheet, and I'm looking at. I haven't listened to The Last Jedi.
yeah,
But I just looked at what
what I got.
the rank.
It's not
No,
high.
barbecued porgs.
Yeah, barbecued porgs. Yeah. Yeah.
I did listen to your solo pod though.
Oh, you
I
did?
got halfway through it.
Fell asleep?
No. I did like that you were offering up bent coppers.
Band Carpers. Yeah. Yeah, that was a
Great
good
show. Line of Duty. Fantastic. If people haven't seen it.
one. Megan gave. Hang on a minute. Megan gave ET 5 a hard 5. Dan has rung in from the land. He's given his rating, and I'll just bring it up here.
Is there any reasoning behind his rating?
I'll tell you. He gives 4 out of 5 penis breaths. And says, best child actors ever. Go fuck yourself, Aussie kid actors. That was his feedback. So
Morgs also gave Beverly Hills Cop and Crocodile Dundee 4 out of 5. So.
yeah. He's interesting, Dan. He's very interesting. Now, G-Man, how many penis breaths are you giving ET?
I'm going the whole hog. I'm going the whole 5.
Yeah, nice. It's hard not to. For me, it's a 5, and it's a seriously hard 5.
Yeah.
For me, this watch has cemented it as one of the great movies.
Yeah, it's what I watched it again and just thought, wow, like what a great movie. But probably because I haven't seen it so long, I wouldn't watch it again soon, just because I like that.
Yeah.
To keep it
For sure.
special.
Yeah.
But I definitely watch it again. No doubt.
You know something is special when it can elicit a emotional response in a 49-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And Charlie's not one to get emotional.
No, he's just sat there, and then I looked at him, and he was just sitting there quietly, and I said, "You sad?" And he's just like nodded the head.
Mm.
And I said, "It's a bit sad, isn't it?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, so it's powerful still today. It's as powerful now as it was back in '82.
Yeah,
so well
definitely.
done, Spielberg, a piece of cinematic grandeur. G-Man, where is that going to put ET in the rank bank?
Okay, 4.75.
Wow.
It is in a tie with Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship,
Yep.
at 4.75 rings to rule them all. It's right above Lethal Weapon and Warrior and 3 Billboards and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Braveheart at 4.67.
Okay.
And it is just below 4.83 for LA Confidential. 4.83 chair pisses.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
But so that puts us into around number 17.
Okay. Wow. I tell you what, it's
Actually,
it's a tough crowd.
no, I think it's even higher than that because we've got a couple.
Yeah.
of
No.
minutes
If
ready.
I'll,
It's
I'll
probably 14.
yeah. Yeah. 4.75. Yeah. I reckon it's 12.
12. Okay, there
I
you go.
reckon it might even be better. 11. 11. Number 11, which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. And I've got to say that there are 6 fives in front of it.
I was just looking at that.
So
I would have thought it could easily have sat up there, Morgs, with those, but
definitely. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's equal 10th. So it's equal
there you
10th.
go.
Gee, man, we did it. We pivoted and we overcame adversity, which is what we
Yeah.
do.
That's right.
I was going to say diversity. Then we've overcome that as well. Two white guys on a couch with a white dog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about diversity here on Born to Watch.
We're as diverse as they get.
Yeah, I think it was a wooden ship.
Oh, good old Ron.
I don't think it was. Next week we're going to be back. I know that you won't miss this one. It's one that we actually threw up very early on in the piece that we would love to do. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I believe it's 1971.
It is.
Clint Eastwood in the iconic role Dirty Harry.
Just a great hark back to my childhood. These movies I watched Dirty Harry maybe 12 months ago.
Yep.
And then I've watched some of the others have been on recently too. So
Yeah.
I've been watching some of those. It's fantastic. Just he makes that role.
My memories of it are that it was one of the movies that were always on like Sunday nights that
Yep.
you weren't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? It was on at 8:30 Sunday night, and you couldn't watch it, and it just made me want to watch it more.
Yeah.
And when I remember I rented it on VHS from the video shop, and it just blew me away.
It's
Fucking great.
It's just so good. He's just so cold and calculating as that character.
It's going to be
Plays to
interesting.
perfection.
It's going to be interesting to see how it holds up under the bright lights of Born to Watch in 2025.
Oh, it'll get the full going over.
We have a guest who has not seen it before.
Wow.
Will the Workie's going to
Yeah.
be back on the couch. I'm looking forward to seeing the size of his notes. And he may move to A3 after he had a A4 notebook last time.
Yeah.
So he might go to A3.
Might.
May not be enough
his
room.
take on this, seeing that he's not brought up like we were with it. And what
Having
his
not
thoughts
seen
are.
it, and I thought it was a good one to throw someone in that hadn't
Yeah,
seen it.
that's right.
Mm.
That's right. Give a
See whether-
contrasting view.
He does know it. He did know about the Magnum 357. But
How could you not?
iconic.
And Punk.
Yeah. Some great quotes in that movie.
Yeah.
G-Man, it's been fun. E.T., I'm so very happy that you gave it a 5.
Yeah.
And Morgs, lift your game in every area.
Come on, Bobby.
Morgs will probably be reaching out. He'll be looking for a very cheap modem. Free is his preferable price.
If anyone has an old modem,
He
to
does
get Morgs back online.
he does frequent the tip shops. But if anyone's got a free modem that could be sent to the Sunshine Coast at the sender's expense, he'd take that.
He'll gladly take it.
Yeah. G-Man, until next week, Dirty Harry, do your homework, people. Share the love. Bye for now.
See ya.